Redistricting is one of several key issues that is yet to be decided this session.
That's right. And then there's the emergency legislation that earned Governor Moore's signature just yesterday, banning local cooperation with ICE. It's getting a red-hot response from authorities who gathered in Annapolis today to talk about possible legal action. Our team of reporters in Annapolis following both of these developing stories.
Let's begin with Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost. Mackenzie is live at the State House in Annapolis after Jeffries' big visit today with the pressure he's putting on Maryland Senate leadership. And that leadership would basically mean Senate President Bill Ferguson, Mackenzie, right?
Yeah, Kai and Mary, that's right. It was a media frenzy today as the U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries made his way from Washington to Annapolis to meet with the Senate President as this pressure ramps up. And while the Minority Leader says this really comes down to fairness, I questioned Jeffries if this proposed map that's already been approved by the Maryland House of Delegates will be fair for all Marylanders. Arriving at the Maryland State House Wednesday morning, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries made his way inside and up to Governor Wes Moore's office as the redistricting pressure ramps up on the Senate Democrats to move on the proposed congressional map.
What do you say to some Democrats who worry that that gerrymandering is bad for democracy overall?
I think Jamie Raskin's letter said it all.
Shortly after, the two went to a meeting with House Democrats across the street.
Governor Moore, what do you think this meeting will accomplish?
Looking forward to having a good conversation fighting for democracy.
Following that caucus meeting, where applause could be heard from outside the door, the pressure on Senate President Bill Ferguson continues from Governor Moore.
I just hope that that the Senate President, that Bill Ferguson would allow for his chamber to be able to exercise their democratic rights.
Is this an attempt to really just disenfranchise Republicans in the state, given the fact that the push is an 8-0 map?
No, this is a chance that we're actually going to make sure that democracy can actually live in Maryland and be decided by Marylanders.
Despite passing the House, Republicans, including delegates where Maryland's lone Republican member of Congress represents, argue their voice will be stripped if this plan moves forward.
The way the map has been drawn, it will most certainly remove Andy from his seat.
On this Ash Wednesday, we have somewhat of an unholy visit from Hakeem Jeffries from D.C., who's bringing his D.C. politics to Maryland to apply pressure on the Senate for what we believe is partisan gerrymandering.
That argument, however, appearing to fall flat for Jeffries himself following his meeting with the Senate President.
Donald Trump and Republicans have failed the people of Maryland and failed the people of the United States of America. And Republicans know that if it's a free and fair election, they're going down in flames in the November midterms. When they go low, we strike back hard in the best interest of the people of Maryland and in the best interest of the people of the United States of America.
Leader Jeffries, you say that this is in the best interest of the people of Maryland. If the map is 8-0, would that leave Republicans who represent about 30% of the state out of representation in Congress when they have one member right now on the Hill?
I would argue that it's a competitive map that allows for 3 or 4 districts at any given point in time to be won by either a Democrat or a Republican. That actually creates an opportunity for the people of Maryland to decide who they should send to represent them in Washington and who may be part of a majority or minority.
Jeffries later releasing a statement saying in part that Ferguson authentically believes that the votes in the Senate are not there, adding, "The only way to find out is to allow an immediate up or down vote on the Senate floor." While Ferguson has been seen as the hurdle to Governor Moore's redistricting push, typically the Senate does not move on bills that don't have enough support to pass. After the meeting, which lasted about 45 minutes, Ferguson released a statement saying in part, "It's precisely because we want Leader Jeffries in the majority that most members in the Senate Democratic Caucus do not support moving forward with mid-cycle redistricting." Sources familiar with the discussions tell Fox 45 News the two largely talked about their competing legal theories and Maryland's election timeline, given the filing deadline is next Tuesday, something Republicans too argue should be enough to put this issue to rest.
It is past the time to consider these things. We need to accept it. I hope that Hakeem Jeffries and Wes Moore can accept it and move on.
But Jeffries doesn't seem fazed by the candidate cutoff quickly approaching in Maryland.
In my view, humbly and respectfully, we can't impose deadlines on ourselves.
Well, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries left Annapolis and went back to Washington after his series of meetings. The issue of mid-cycle redistricting doesn't seem to be going away in Maryland.
Now, sources familiar with the discussions during the meeting between Jeffries and Ferguson tell me that the two really had a cordial meeting, and there were no threats made by Jeffries to potentially back candidates to primary senators if this plan does not come up for a vote. I'm also told that the Senate President did not make any promises that the proposal will make it to the floor. I spoke with a political analyst who talked a little bit about what this show of force today from the House Minority Leader was really all about.
I think that was important for the D.C. leadership to show that type of effort.
Is this really about helping Governor Wes Moore with his national profile and his potential 2028 ambitions instead of really the redistricting itself issue?
I think one of the reasons Jeffries did come was Governor Moore's 2028 presidential possibilities to show that, I'm on your side. Jeffries may be a supporter of Moore as far as running for president, so he's making that extra effort to do this.
Now, I asked the governor if he invited the House Minority Leader to the State House today. The governor says no. And we've heard Governor Wes Moore talk about the fact that he doesn't take orders from party bosses. And Didi tells me that the show of force from Jeffries in the visit today indicates that D.C. Democrats are paying attention to what's happening here in Maryland. Live in the State House, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.